Yo, yo, look, he probably in a bad area. Try again, try again, try again, cause we didn't hear you. Did you guys hear him? Yes or no? Anybody heard him, or is it just me? That's that California signal, man. I'll be honest with you, Cisco Sack. That's why, man. I never really complain about selectors, cause they work hard too, man. Their job is so demanding. They gotta they gotta do so much selection, so little time. I think it's easier to unload a truck than to build a pallet like the way these guys do. So shout out to all selectors out there, man. They deserve the money that they make. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the selectors, man, because they be running, man. One advice I can give the selectors out there is slow down a little bit, man. They be going hard. Cause I'm the reason why I say to slow down, bro. Whenever you hear like a selector get hurt, it's bad, really bad. The other day, a selector at U.S. Food, he broke his leg in three different places. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, they do got some rough schedule. Hey, I seen some bear silo guys today, and I seen these guys like unloading some cases, a side load, putting it on the ground to get to what they need just to put those cases back up. Man, them side load guys work hard, man. Really hard. Yo, yo, Dominos.
Finally, man, I was having technical difficulties for a minute.
I see, man. What's going on?
Man, I can't call it. What's good with y'all? How everybody doing? I'm trying to pull up the comments. It ain't trying to pull up the chat. I can't see the chat. I was
It's
waiting
okay. I read it to you.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I got a question. What's the difference in pay for solo and team?
It's like double. It's double. So that I think it's like I don't have my voucher, but it's well in my location it's like almost 2 cents a pound, and then when you go solo, it's a little bit more than that. It's like it's double that. It's like almost it's about zero. Okay, I'll give 0.016 a pound, and then when you go solo, it's 0.028 a pound. So it's almost double, but it equates to so if your routes, like say if you're getting between 300 and 400, when you uh when you would team, then you're gonna get double that. So it'll be about double that for about 800, or about about 800 when you go solo. But they have, remember I was telling you last time, I don't know, some people might have missed it. They have two separate tiers, but I think I think no, if as long as you with a team, no, the tiers are your weight stays the same. It's just the mileage that increases.
Okay, okay. Lazy boy trucking asks, are you home daily or you layover?
No, I'm home daily. It really depends how fast you get the route done, cause like you get 2 day routes. So like my next one will be tomorrow night, and it's supposed to we'll start like at midnight, and we'll usually be done early Thursday morning. So no, with this route we starting at 8:30 tomorrow night, and so we'll be finished with that by 6. It's supposed to be a 2 day route, but it's really as fast as you want to go. It's like so the faster you get it done, the quicker you. But the longest route that we have would be you leave. Let me like you leave Wednesday night and come back Thursday, or you leave Monday night and come back Tuesday. So it's not we don't have really nothing like that OTR like you know what I mean. It's pretty, and then the faster you get it home, it just depends on. So if you leave, because all our routes usually start at midnight or somewhere around there, about no, not at midnight, like about 10, 9 o'clock at night, and so you work through the night. So the faster you get it done, some people are able to get it done like early the next morning or later on that evening the next morning. Just depends at what pace. Or did you run out of hours and have to take a 10 hour and finish up? Which the most, I think the longest it'll take, even new, like it'll probably be like one night away from home or something like that. And it's not really a whole night. It's you leave you leave like on a like say if I left tonight, I went out Tuesday night, and I'll just come back tomorrow morning or late tomorrow evening. So that's usually how the route goes.
So you choose to be on a team or they just put you
No,
on a team?
they put you on the team. Certain routes, because they like to put team routes like if it's a like Reno. I don't know. You guys aren't familiar with Northern California. That's probably like from like I don't know, probably from like Miami to Orlando or something like that. If you're going that kind of distance, or Miami to Jacksonville, you know what I mean. Like, or no, that's probably too far. But from Jacksonville to Mobile or something like that, or then they'll put you on a team route because they the team routes are like what you call it. The team routes usually going farther. You're usually going a lot farther than our supply chain center is. But sometimes they put you on single routes doing the same thing. It just depends. It depends on how many stops you got and how far away the route is from our supply chain center.
So I got a question. If somebody want to know, if you work 6 days a week, what would that check look like?
Oh man, it's a lot because after your fourth day is technically like that's like extra routes. So like or extra route. Like, it depends if you getting so let's just say you getting and it depends on how much your weight is. If you like you're gonna pull in at least you should pull in at least somewhere around two. Even if you're just starting off or even if you're just starting off and you're on the lowest. It just really depends on how much your weight is. Like you know what I mean? Like where you or what do they got any promotions going on or because a lot of stuff like affects your like when they have the buy one 50% get one pizza 50% off or what like they have all these kind of specials then a Super Bowl or like graduation. You know what I mean? So like different what you really want is a heavy truck. So if you get let's see so like 22,000 pounds and equate to like a little bit over 400 and then with the miles, you know what I mean? So that'll be like about 500. So you do like three or four of those, you'll be and it's just starting off. It'll be like 2,000 or something, a little bit over two. But then I don't know what your tax situation look like. And then if you're single and you got it down already, it'll be double that. So about close to four. It'll be close to four, but close to eight. Well, close to four. I mean, it'll be double to two.
Oh, so if you're single running that 20,000 pounds, that'd be 800 for the day.
Right. Yeah, just about. Yep. When you factor in the miles and the yeah, when you factor in the miles and your weight, yeah, whatever you make as a single is gonna be double for sure. And then we get our breaks and then the pre-trip. I think all that's like an extra $20 per day or something like that. So like your breaks, we get $20 for that, and then your pre-trip $20 for that, and then if you have to fuel up, $20 for that. So I don't count those things, but that's the addition that we get. We get that too. So and you do that every day. Well, you don't fuel up every day, but you do your pre-trips and take your breaks every day. So that's an additional. And then like if you laid over on the route, like if you didn't, because like you said, the benefit of finishing it fast and coming back is you get more time off. But
Yeah.
you can lay over and you get the extra. Just like every company does. That's not particular to Domino, but Domino's gives you an extra $90 if you decide, so you can get a room or just sleep in the truck, and then you can because their rooms are with Motel Six, so I don't you got and then they got like some other hotels, but Motel Six primarily what they use, who they use. So if you depending on
Yeah,
whatever you
I'll be,
at,
I'll be
huh?
sleeping in the truck.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, right. Exactly, exactly. So that's what I always do. I was like, nah, I'll just sleep in the truck, keep my money. Then if I'm gonna be away from home for overnight, I might as well get paid for it. So it's
Oh,
almost
I
like a
got a
hundred bucks.
question. Y'all get the
Uh-huh.
same trucks?
Yeah, we do. hmm
Oh wow.
once you call it, we do. At least at my DC, we get the same. Or it depends on what route. You don't get the same. I don't say you because usually you know how it go. Like certain trucks, I don't know why they do it this way, but like you might switch trucks if you're going on a different route that day. You know what I mean? You said you won't get
Oh,
the
like the truck comes with the route.
right. That's how it goes. Yeah, it's not so you get the same truck. It's that, and most of the time you're doing the same route, so that's why you get the same truck. But if you switch, or if you call somebody else called in and you're filling his route, they won't let you.
No, because
Cause
the
it,
reason I'm asking because if you're solo and you get the
uh
same truck and you're gonna lay over at it, you can bring your stuff inside the truck
right,
that
it's
you're gonna
clean.
need.
Right. Well, you could do that anyway. Yeah, a lot of guys do that. Bring it like they bring before they leave, they grab their bag or whatever. If they bring a blanket or whatever, if they plan on laying over,
Yeah.
yeah, they just bring that. Right. Yeah, you could do. Yeah, that's always an option. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
But
that's
then
always an
trucking,
option.
even though you know you're not gonna lay over, like you should always plan
Exactly. Yeah,
ahead
because
just in
if the
case
truck breaks
anything. Always bring
down,
clothes.
you're right. Yeah, the truck might. Hey, you're right about that, man. The truck may break down, or the lift gate may get stuck or something, and you could be in the middle. And those type of things seem to happen in the middle of nowhere. So it's better to be prepared and not need it than need it and be not and not be prepared for it. So nah,
Yeah,
you're
man.
right. Yeah, you're right, boss.
Yeah, even
You're right
locally,
about
man,
that.
I bring a change of clothes all the time, man.
Right, right. Yeah, that's what one of the veteran drivers told me when I got like, make sure you bring it. Yeah, yeah. What's
So
that? What's
when you go back to work,
tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, and then Thursday night, and then I'm off for. So I go back tomorrow night but the guy I'm working with tomorrow, he pretty fast, so we gonna knock that out. I get off Thursday morning, early Thursday morning, and I'm gonna go back Thursday evening, and then get off Friday, and then I'll be off again till Sunday.
oh, I got a question. How much experience you need to get into Domino's?
They say 6 months, but they have a driver's they have a DTI program too, so like a driver in training programs. But I've seen them. Like right now, we got three drivers that are in train that they don't even have their license yet, but Domino sent them to school, so
Okay,
yeah. Then when they get that, they gonna come in.
I got a question for you, man.
Hmm.
How hard is it, right? When you just start out, how hard is it to maneuver the truck when you just started? Because I know you don't get no map. You pull up to a Domino's, you see the Domino's, and you start scratching your head like, how the f I'm gonna get this truck in there, man?
Right. That's probably the most difficult part of the job. Like, it is not like I think this for most food service drivers, it's not like OTR where you got the big open docks and you just mostly highway driving. If you in a metro area or you in and most of the Domino's are in the metro area or with and like the ones in San
Down,
Francisco or the ones.
even downtown and stuff. That's
Right, you know
crazy.
what I mean? Right, exactly. So it's
Yeah.
real similar to that. And they didn't have truck drivers in mind when they designed a lot of these places. So they make you really got to be in I say turn wide and turn wide and back up slow. And if you have to, get out and look. Because in those parking lots, you got people that are coming around you or coming drive through your blind side or like they be in a rush to get out the parking lot or like they don't they're oblivious to it takes a lot for the truck to maneuver or it's not like you maneuvering a four-wheeler car. They expect you to like like what you said earlier with the security guards just stepping in front of you. Some people so busy
Hmm.
texting they just step in front of you. They oblivious to what's going on around them, and so yeah, that's probably the most difficult part is maneuvering the trucks and the place where they got some of these, and then you want to get the lift gate as close as you can
Hmm.
to the gate. But at some stores, you're just not able to do that. You have to park on the sidewalk and just walk in it. Some stores is just so they like I said, they didn't have trucks in mind when they built that location. So you just had to park on the street somewhere and just walk it in, or set out the ramp and use that. Do the best you can at that point. But
So
that's
with some of these stores, right? Do you guys get like instructions? But let's just say South Beach, right? I mean
hmm
South Beach, for example, right?
right,
Now you guys will get like a certain type of. It's certain times where they wouldn't send y'all to South Beach to deliver. So do you
right.
guys get the instruction where you say, "Yo, you got to
Uh
be
huh.
here between the
Yeah,
hours of
definitely.
and such, because this place is like really busy."
Definitely, that'll be on your trip packet, like whether it's an alarm code or any
Hmm.
special instructions. Because we have stores like that. Like you can't deliver before 10 or after 4 in the morning, or we have, you know what I mean. So we have like it's a few stores like that where they have mandates on when you can deliver, or between what times you could deliver, or can you leave a reefer running when you're at the store, or so now all that'll be in your trip packet. Yeah, before but then like you look up, you want to once you get the route done, you know what I mean. Once you get the once you do the route a few times, you already know. But like initially, you probably have to look at your trip pack to know. Okay, I gotta cut the reef off this store, or this is the alarm code for this store, or you know what I mean, or something, or something like that. So now you'll definitely have detailed instructions on what to do or what time to be there before. And yeah, yeah, our a vet senior driver will let you know too. Like because like remember when I said on the first live that the way they organize the stores as opposed to like it may not be the most efficient. It may not be the most efficient. Like so that what they have for stop one to through stop 12, that might not be the most efficient way to do it. So you can go and you don't have to go in order of the way they have it. The route plan. You can do what you think works best, and then as long as you get the stores done. Yeah, and then you don't get there, but you do have to follow. Like if it says don't deliver before 10 or don't deliver after 4 in the morning or something, you do have to follow that, but you don't have to go in with a particular order that they have on the route sheet.
Oh, so you guys can skip stops.
Right, right. Yeah, you do the stops for two was because some of the no offense to the driver man, they don't have no trucking experience. Well, some of them don't, like most of the managers or the route planner don't have trucking. They just going by what like what Google Maps is, what's the closest or what and like it's not always the most efficient way or the fastest way. You know what I
But
mean? So
because a lot of routers, they don't care to what the driver's
exactly,
going through, and they
exactly.
don't they don't care to communicate with the drivers.
Right, right. That's the key issue, bro. A lot of them just don't care. So yeah, so that's the key thing, bro. Is that and you have to do what works best for you, or you know what I mean, or what you might if you're going up north or up to Reno or something, maybe getting ready to snow, and so you might say, or the weather might be bad in different parts of Northern California or different parts. So you might, hey, well, let me hurry up and go do this store before it starts storming, or then I can come back down and yeah, because I don't think the people who plan our routes they definitely don't work at our. I don't think they work at our supply chain. I think that's coming from corporate. So
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Like but
isn't
it's that
your corporate like in Indiana or somewhere?
Michigan.
Somewhere,
Yeah, it's in
Michigan.
Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, and Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yeah, with the Wolverines. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now that I think about it. Yep. So that's a long way from Northern California.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long way from Northern California. Yeah, 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 definitely. And so,
So
yeah, I
they
think,
had a stretch out there.
huh?
I said they probably gonna put some more DCs over all over.
Oh yeah, yeah, especially as they grow and as they expand. I think the last one they opened was in Crown Point, Indiana. That's like not too far out of Chicago, I don't believe, or get like it's by Gary and all, like Gary, Indiana, and Chicago, like that area. It's not too far, at least. I'm not from. I had to Google it, so I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but I know that was the last one they opened was in Crown Point, Indiana. So, and like when I went for my end, the guy was telling me they plan on opening more stores. So once they open up more stores, that they're gonna need some more distribution centers or some more supply chain centers. To I would imagine to make it more efficient because certain stores gonna need coverage. So yeah, some of these states are like Florida or Texas or California are really big. So
Oh,
what I
let
mean.
me ask you a question, right? So,
Uh,
so this okay. I got an interesting question. I'm
hmm
talking about the delivery, and I'm talking about the money and all. I want
Okay.
to talk about the warehouse for a second. Do you
Uh huh.
guys actually make anything inside the warehouse?
The dough.
They
They
make
make
the
the
dough.
dough. Yeah, and then I think everything else comes from third party vendors.
Now, is
Yeah.
the dough like on an automatic system?
They have like a production. I haven't been in because when you go in the dough, they have to wear a special uniform and you like a lab coat and it's like you going into a damn science lab. So I haven't been in a part where they I was never interested in going like to see where they actually make the dough, but I would
So
imagine.
I can just imagine that warehouse just staying cold all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they got a lot of product, but it's cold, but they do have two big freezers, so like most of the products is in free. But you're right, the warehouse is generally cold, but it's really cold when you step inside the freezers because that's where all the stuff is at. Yeah, the majority of the product is in the freezers. Yeah, but matter of fact, no, the dry goods like the pizza boxes and a few other things are like in the warehouse, but a majority of the stuff is in two giant, massive deep freezers.
So you guys got bulkheads, right?
What's that as far as what?
Separating the freezer from the cooler, from the
Yep.
dry.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, we do. We do. And the dry, that's where the pizza boxes and everything go at. And then like
Oh,
anything dry, your tomato sauce or what else? Yeah, and then like anything that your tomatoes, so maybe it's not much that don't need to be refrigerated from there. So it's mostly like the boxes and stuff, and the bulk, and then you got the reefer that holds the majority of the product is gonna be in the where the freezers at.
so when you think about like the pizza boxes, how do you guys carry those?
On a hand cart, they stack them up and just stack them all the way up and just initially it could be difficult like when you first start and they get heavy like if you're not accustomed to food service or you're not you didn't come from a physical job, it's gonna be difficult when you first start. And but either you lift them all, of course the more you stack up there the less trips you have to do. But if you find it too difficult, you just stack it, you stack a shorter, and then you just have to make more trips, you know what I mean, for the dry. You just have to make more trips. You just don't stack it as high to lighten the load on you until you're able to. But they stack those pizza boxes pretty high, and then the tomato sauce is you put the tomato sauce on you put the tomatoes. Oh, that's way to go, El Toro, man, way to go. Yeah, I think you probably have it with Ezekiel. Yeah, you probably have it with Ezekiel. I think that's the recruiter out of Atlanta. I'm not sure why why, but I know like a majority of people that got hired, they were the recruiter from Atlanta calls you. Yeah, so but yeah, that's you just I say you lighten the load like you lighten the it's because the tomato sauce to me is it's not the heaviest, it's one of the heaviest things. It's one of the heaviest things when you're first starting. So yeah, and then that even heavier than the pizza boxes, or maybe the cheese, But yeah, the pizza boxes it takes some getting used to if you've never done that type of work. Oh, so he then more than likely though you still have I seen that hotel. More than likely you still have you still have like Ezekiel interview you, and then they'll have the store managers call you in, and you set up your driving test, your road test, and that's that. The main thing they want to know is will you be able to lift, or like will you be able to unload the can you they're gonna remind you how physical it is, and like and are you up for the challenge. But it's not, the interview is pretty simple, the process is pretty simple. And then the drive test is, yeah, another thing that's pretty simple too.
Or the drive test?
Yeah, yeah.
They, they
But
make you do any crazy backing and stuff like that?
nah. But some people do because we have really, really small. They really more concerned with like you pull off, and then I don't know if it varies from facility to facility. You pull off, you're gonna go on the freeway, you're gonna make a couple of right turns, left turns. I think they're more concerned initially with that is like make sure you put on your seatbelt. Make sure you put on your seatbelt before you pull off, because that's the automatic way to fail your drivers. They and then they won't remind you, hey, like, hey, buckle up. They'll let you start the truck up and pull off. And then a lot of guys have a habit of running stop signs, so that's another way to you make sure you when you come to a stop sign, you come to a complete stop, and you look both ways, and then you go through. Don't they call them California stops, where you just roll through the where you slow down at the stop sign and go through it. Don't do nothing like that, and then you'll be pretty cool. They don't. I don't like it'll be. I don't think you're gonna make because California is really expensive. But whatever you make in Florida will be like in the top. It'll be like whatever you definitely make a living in some in Florida. Like you'll be at the top income earners of Florida. I'm not sure like how because I'm not sure how the cost of living compares to Florida. But there's guys like in that area that, like I said, I know people in South Carolina and stuff that's making 140. So that's what, like 140, 150. So like you definitely make be at the top of the income bracket.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you definitely like everywhere that you have a chance to make over 120. Yeah.
Oh, your first year?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, you have it. Depending on how hard you work, like if you, but I like just doing a bare minimum. Like if you just do your 2 day routes a week and you don't do no extra routes, then you probably you'll still be at like at least 80, 84 down there. That's what I heard like in that area, like 80, 84, and that's just doing a bare minimum. Like no overtime, like no, you're just doing working as
Do they
least as
got
possible.
do they got any 3 day routes?
Nah, nah, they don't have no 3 day routes.
Oh, you got to hit at least 4 days.
What you mean? No, you could do two. Okay, because the layover routes are considered 2 day routes. So
Okay,
you
so
could
you can
do
actually do a 2 day route.
that's what the layover routes are considered. But
So
most
when you
people
do a
just
2 day route, like you're done for the week.
if you do two of them, so like you may usually what they do. So like some guys come in Sunday and Monday then you might do another one on Wednesday and Thursday, and then like anything over that'll be extra.
Oh, okay, that ain't bad.
Okay, okay, no problem. Okay. Yeah, so yep, you do yeah, you do 2 day the 2 day routes like when you know or like I don't and then it just depends on your financial situation. Like do you need the $90 or do you want to come home and you know what I mean to get back to your family or or that like you do the 2 day routes that's considered even though a lot of people do them in one day that's considered like a 2 day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So if you do like three of those, you can really get a nice. If you do three of those a week, you'll really see a nice check. You'll be that's what puts you in the the upper income bracket. Yeah, that's what puts you in the upper income when you start doing a 2 day routes because they consider it 6 days at Domino's. But you like a lot of people get those done in 3 days or you know what I mean, or like a day and a half, or just depending on how fast you able to get it done.
yeah,
Yeah. Or if you do the like the local routes, the local routes are expected to get done the same. You know, you start at midnight and you're supposed to be done before your hours run out, before your 14 hours run out. So that's another but most of the senior guys bet on them. Like so you may do it when you're filling in for somebody that called out sick or something, but like most of the well, from what I've seen, like most of the veteran guys, the guys that been there for a minute, take the local routes, and that's the ones that's close to the supply chain center. So you stand. That's why I consider it local, I guess. Or but you're not really going far. It's under 100 miles, or it's like maybe might be 100 mile trip. So yeah, you come in and just knock that out and be done. But they pay pretty good too.
what are some of the other local jobs in your area that you considered before
Uh,
Domino's?
honestly, y'all got me on you, and then a few other like LYs and Anthony and food service. Y'all got me into food service, but I was doing fuel prior to that, and then I had my coworker backed into me, and I had to take some time off, like I tore
Yeah,
my leg, and then so I'm back. So I was considering getting back into fuel or like holler nitrogen or beer.
yeah,
You know, the beverage guys up here make a lot of money too. So I was thinking about getting in a beverage or beverage or. I didn't really look. I did like pretty much every like most of the jobs up here because the cost of living is you know kind of expensive. So pretty much every job up here pays pretty good. Just like what type of freight you in. Haul. The one thing I wanted to do is like do something that most people ain't doing. You know, like I know food service. A lot of people are resistant to fuel, like hauling fuel, because or hazmat, because they say you're the bomb on your back, that whole thing. But like I never, I've always tried to do things that everybody wasn't willing to do. So that way, you know, it's usually easier to get those kind of jobs, and you know, you're working a lot of more overtime, and yeah, and that's I don't mind doing. Yeah, I don't mind doing stuff like that.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right now.
yeah, yeah.
What
Right.
everybody else ain't doing.
I lost 40 pounds in 7 months driving for food service.
Oh yeah, you definitely gonna. You definitely gonna yeah, you definitely gonna what you call it. But like I said, after a while your body gets used to it though. So like
Yeah,
the same stuff you were struggling with in the beginning, you notice you like, oh man, I'm lifting this like it ain't nothing. You don't and you know when you first start off you might be drenched in sweat. You know, you might be drenched in sweat the whole night, whether it's rain or whatever, and then as you go on, you're not even breaking a sweat no more on heavier loads. Or like or like double the amount of cases for if you're doing cases. So that's how you know, like, oh yeah, this ain't and you know you tipping that dolly back like it ain't nothing now. You used to struggle to get it up, or you might if you drop the dolly, I don't know if you've ever you know if, like if you drop a dolly, have you how hard it could be to get it back up? Like so if you use like when you know you might once you drop a dolly, that's it. You got to restack it and then get
yeah.
it back
So
up. But huh?
no, exactly.
Right. So like you're getting accustomed to it is when you can tilt it back up without restacking it. Like oh okay. Yeah. So yeah, I it's gonna be hard for anybody that's new to food service. Like if you've never done that kind of work, it's gonna be hard. Like your first 2 weeks because your body's gonna be like, oh man, like your first 2 weeks or maybe even a month for you. But once if you hang in there and you stick it out, it'll be well what yeah, you just start knocking it out faster and faster and you start growing learning your own techniques or taking something from the veterans and yeah, putting that in your own bag of tricks where you know it's you. Like, oh man. The most common thing
How much vacation y'all get the first year?
what, 80 hours?
Oh, the first year that ain't bad at all. No.
Yeah, yeah, we get 80 hours and then we get like 80 hours of sick time too. So or is it 40 hours? Yeah, I know we get like 80 hours of vacation time, and then it grow. It's like so. The more you work, though, the more the more your
Okay.
vacation pay goes up, though.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about it. So if you're
Yeah.
doing a
Well,
lot
what's
of
poppin'?
overtime, like when you do take your vacation, it's some guys that you can end up getting paid more than what you do for the route. You know what I mean? Cause like I remember what I mentioned last time, is some guys that their vacation pay is like set in the seventies, $70 per hour, $80 per hour. And I think like one guy who's been there like for decades, he's like at $100 an hour. So, and what he been telling me like only works 11 months of the year because every August or every something he goes away on a trip for a whole month. But that and then you get all that vacation at $100 an hour. So yeah, that could really add up too. So now you get a lot of it, the vacation, the sick days, the benefits. That's all lovely. That's all. Yeah, that's all lovely because they really take care of us on that. They really take care of us on that. The only
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 the sick days or your personal debt, like that's all generous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you don't use them, they'll pay you for it at the end of the
right,
year.
right. Every February, if you don't use it, they'll just pay you whatever the hourly wage that you. Like I said, so the more you work, the more your hourly wage will go up for vacation. So just say if you were at 60 or like 70, like my boy, like so if he don't go on no vacations this year, or if he only took 2 weeks vacation and he decided not to use the other two, you'll get a check for $70 an hour to buy out the. Of course, you still gonna have to pay taxes on it, whatever tax rate but you still get the you'll get your check. You'll get your check like equivalent to those hours, the unused hours. So they every February they're buying back from you. Is you? I
So let me
don't.
ask you a
They don't
question.
allow you, huh?
What if all right, let me ask you a question. Let's just say you came to work, right?
Uh huh.
And they had too much drivers. What do they do when they don't have enough work for one particular driver?
That don't happen. You won't be scheduled then. That won't. Like you won't. If you coming to work, you gonna work. Like because we get our schedules 2 weeks in advance, so you'll see like what route you on, and like
Oh,
yeah, you'll see what route you on and what so you know like we get our schedule 2 weeks at a time, so you know what route you're on, and then if you know and
so
you
you
still
get
float.
so you get so if you know what you're doing for 2 weeks straight, can you run like a 2 week route in one week? That,
No, because they're different.
Or they won't let you go ahead like that?
Nuh-uh, because the different store, because the stores, the order amount might change, or you just know what route you'll be on
Oh,
for the
okay.
next. But another thing is that, like, you know your days off and everything too. But so you can follow. Hey, I'm willing to work those 2 days, or I'm willing to work. You know what I mean? You'll be able to work more too, like, or work around. So that's another, just because a lot, especially when you're new too. Like this happens a lot. Like, just so you might say, oh, cool, I got two-day routes this week, and then I'll be off for the rest of the week. Don't count, like, because from what I've seen, a lot of times they're gonna call you in, or if somebody gonna call out sick, they're gonna call you in, or like, you on your day off, you don't have to you don't have to what you call it, you don't have to like, it's no force dispatch, like, hey, you have to come in if you're not scheduled, right? If you see your schedule, and like the manager calls you, like, hey, I need you to come in, and you don't have to most guys do, because if when you're new, because I don't know what type of impression, you know what I mean, or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, what type of impression when you telling them no, or what you ain't gonna do, or or unless you really have plans, or you can express that. But like most of the new guys do just volunteer, and you get the incentive, you get the bonus pay, $150 to $200 depending on, and then plus the route. So
Yeah.
yeah, but like, that usually the schedule usually changes, like, unless you're already doing like 3 days, like three 2-day routes. Are you
Mm-hmm.
doing 5 single routes? Then that's it. Because nobody works on Saturday, so I think that's like a whole Domino's thing. Like, nobody, I think, company wide, at least in supply chain center, or is the manager strict on? Nah, man, they don't. Nah, man, nah, because you like, but the good thing is the trucks are assigned by route, so trucker out. So like, okay, so the trucks are assigned by route. So if you on that route, then you'll know that like, okay, well, I'm doing this, like, so like, that truck could be, you'll be in that same truck and it'll be clean. But for the most part, like, it's some guys that are real less than tidy, or less than clean. I'll put it that way. They don't give a damn. Are you jumping in somebody else's truck and be like, damn? It's not like, it don't be like, it's just like stuff spilled, or you know what I mean, or maybe the Starbucks cup they might have drunk and just threw it down, or empty bottles, not people,
Yeah.
like empty water bottles or something like that. But yeah, it'd be something like that. But and then you get in other people's truck. They smell nice. They clean. That they do come detail the trucks though, like once a week, or like on the weekends or something like that. So if you park your trucks in it, the only thing is if you have to park on the streets, they're not gonna get to your truck. So if you at a dock or inside the gate, our yard is tight too. Our yard is small. It's
Yeah.
probably one of the smallest ones in Domino. So if you're able to get a dock, or you're able to pull in there, you'll get your truck detailed. So that's one way to keep it clean. But you're still uh you're still more than likely, or somebody, if you were off that night, somebody like had that route, because some of the stores get 3 times a week. So
Yeah.
like, you might, you know what I mean, you might be sharing with, that's another thing, that like, you might be sharing that truck with who's somebody who does the same route as you, just on a different day.
Oh, some stores get, so you same route, different day. That means you got any store that's getting a delivery every day or no?
No, I don't. I think like 3 times a week. I think 3 or 4 times a week is like
The
the
most?
max. Yeah, yeah. I think like three, maybe. I think some that get 4 every day, but yeah, that's like the most. Yeah. So that, like, if you do it, if I did it Monday, like, somebody else would I might come there Mondays and Wednesdays, and then somebody else will come there Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that, like, I've seen something like that. But a lot of the Dominoes, because a lot of these stores are small, like, not some, but some of the newer ones are getting better, like, where they have large freezers. But a lot of them, they order, like I heard you mention earlier on, a lot, like, it's not our fault that you didn't order right. You got a lot of these stores that don't know how to order, or don't order right, man. It's like you trying to figure out, like, man, how the hell I'm gonna get all this in your freezer, and they don't want to run out, because it's like I said, they might be doing a big promotion, or it might be something big coming up, and they don't want to run out, but still, or a festival in that area, and but like, geez, how the hell I'm gonna get all this? How the hell? So some stores that order instead of ordering really large orders, they'll just order
Yeah.
medium to small. You know what I mean? To keep it. Because sometimes I've seen stores you get there like it's the freezer so full you have to leave stuff out the freezer, like the cheese and the freezer just ain't big enough to hold all the stuff they order. Yeah.
What's his name? Juan just said he just got off work.
What's going on, Juan? I think El Toro is that's the one so El Toro that's the guy you want to holler at is Juan because he's in Southern California so that's where that's the guy that's like the contact for Southern California. But I mean I know he works in the Southern California SCC so I'm in Northern California so that yeah, he would know like our yards and our drive tests and all that probably were a little bit different from each other. We have the same system though like the job is the same but like some of those like our yard or like what they might have a few things that are different from us. I doubt it much, but maybe like or maybe the way they run. Yeah, but you definitely gonna make the money though. The pay is
Yeah.
one thing's the same, is you're gonna make the money though. So if nothing else, if everything else is different, then you definitely gonna make the money. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the man. That's the man right there as far as Southern California go.
Yeah. He
Um,
said he's out of Grand Prix, Texas.
oh no, he in Texas. My fault. I'm thinking of the
Yeah.
other.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
think
thinking
that's
about?
the
I
Houston.
think you thinking about Angel. You think about Angel.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Angel. I'm sorry, Juan. Yeah, and Juan's been there for a minute, so because I've seen another video. I seen some other comments that Juan was on. So Juan been there for a minute, so he would really know, like about single pay and the team man pay and yeah. So
Juan, what you like about Domino's, man? What's some of the things you like about Domino's?
yeah, I'm interested to know that too. It's definitely a place where you can settle down and have your career though. Like if you
Let me ask you a question. You think we work like us, like other food service guys? I know you see some of the videos. You think we work harder than you guys?
yeah, because we only deal with our product. 'Cause like
Oh,
some of you guys, like I had a friend at McLean, because different restaurants order different, like different restaurants order different. So I'm just using them as an example. Like McDonald's might order a whole different order from Sonic's. So their cases might be heavier, or their cases might be you know what I mean, or they might order a ton more cake, or like so like yeah, everything at McDonald's might weigh the same, or might have similar, but when you go to a whole nother restaurant, like you can go from lifting a 25, 50 pound box of nuggets to the next restaurant you go to, you're lifting an 80 pound brisket or a 100 pound brisket. So you know what I mean? Or cases of flour, so that with us is just the same. Like it's the heaviest thing you're gonna lift is either the tomatoes or the as far as lift and put on the I think the heaviest thing is the dough, but you sliding that off and putting that on rollers on dollies. So
how much pound is the dough?
the dough is 300 pounds. It stacks of 25. It stacks of 25, and then it's they say it weighs 300 pounds, but you just sliding that off the lift gate onto a dolly, and then you pushing it in there, so it's not as bad, especially when you get used to it.
Yeah,
Especially when you get used to it, it's not as bad. Like when I first started, I was only able to push off one. I was just getting it off the lift gate was a short, and then like just push. So now I'm able to push in two at a time. And so that's yeah, so there might be guys that be able to push in more than two at a time. I'm not sure, but I'm able to push in two at a time now. So that's six. That's six. So since you're not lifting it, you're pushing it. That's like 600 pounds. Yeah, that's you or the 300 pound. I think that's the heaviest. I think that might be the yeah. That's but don't get me wrong. Like the stacks of cheese and the stacks of meat and the stacks of pit, but that can get pretty heavy too. But
yeah.
you have more control over that more or less because you the one that's creating the stack as opposed to the dough is
Hey,
already pre-stacked.
we got Jermaine in the building, man. He just applied to
What
Domino's after watching your last interview.
at what supply chain, Jermaine? Or out of what area? because they are hiring. Like I said, you just keep checking the I would keep checking the thing, or like if you I know they be on Indeed, or if you go to jobs Dominos.com, like you keep checking. I know they're hiring in
Oh,
Denver.
I got a question for you, bro. Kennesaw, Georgia. What do they match your 401k at?
I think it's like 5 or 6%. I had to look again. It's like 5 or 6%.
So they got 401k and stocks.
Yeah, and then you get 15% off the stocks. But like I said,
And and I
the
and
stock,
I know that company. I know Domino is doing good. That's a no
yeah, they
brainer.
like $400 a share. So
Because the
yeah,
only person I
385. They over 350. They in the high threes. So
the
yeah,
only person the only pizza company that's giving them a run is probably Papa John's.
Papa
Everybody else
John's.
is
Right. Yeah, and they
not
they
even
like at
close.
80 a share or almost 100 a
Yeah.
share. So that might be a good value. And it's guys who started at Domino's when it was 14. I was talking to some of the guys that yeah, I talked to some of the guys that oh okay, he said the 4K is 5%. Okay, but I talked to some of the guys who got who've been working there since the stock was like $14 or $20. And so they said they was buying it up until it hit a certain price, and then so they those guys are really yeah, they said.
Hey, Juan say he loved the work life balance. He worked 3 days one week and 2 days the other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But like he can have the option to go in 3 days too. And that's like I said, see, he's moving pretty fast. So the 3 days is really a 2 day route. So what he's doing is he's knocking out the 2 day routes in one day. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's what you call it. And like he said, he's able to go home and hang out with his family or do whatever he has do on the side. So yeah. And you with him doing the 3 days, like the 2 day out, at least in my DC, I'm pretty sure it's the same for him. But like where we at, if you do 3 2 day routes in one week, you definitely gonna be over 100 grand. You definitely gonna be over 100. Like that's those guys. There's guys that who I was talking to at my supply who was 150 or 160 from doing the three 2 day routes. So that's what yeah. You definitely gonna make money. You
You
definitely
think
gonna make
Domino?
money.
You think Domino is like a hidden gem?
Definitely. I think so. Definitely. Yep. Definitely. And like most people think of Domino, and then like it's like oh Domino's like and then even Papa John or food service in general. But like I can because I work for Domino's, like you get it. People be like Domino's, it's not the most desirable job, or it might be because they look at it like the store, like it's like in the same class as McDonald's and or fast food. I don't want to disrespect no other but they look at it as like oh Domino and I listen because I've seen they were hiring for a while. It just took me a while. Like then I was like nah. I don't know, Domino's, like, cause I had that stigma too. I had to overcome, like, that's like working at like at a fast food joint. And so, but it not when not when you on the supply chain side. Not when that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but they think like okay, Domino's is and then like you'll be surprised. A lot of people don't know that how I'm amazed like how do they think like the product gets to the store. Even if it were from it's like oh what Domino's delivers their own. Oh, I never thought of that. It's just like yeah, it's like well yeah, it has to get there somehow. It's on a truck, whether it's us or a third party company or whatever. So yeah, it has to get there somehow. So. Yeah, so and that's common for like a lot of restaurants. People don't I don't know how they think that the food gets there. It's like no, it's something called a food service or the beverages get there. It's like a driver comes and drops it off and deliver. Yeah, it's just like oh yeah, I've never seen that or I've never seen a truck before. That's because we're usually working at night when you sleep. So yeah, so that's
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, early in the morning or something. It's like oh, I've never seen them get deliveries before though. I'm like, oh, yeah, trust me. Just about every restaurant is what you might got some small little pop joint that's going to Costco or wherever to the restaurant depot or something. filling up that cargo van, but the majority of stuff is getting there by truck. How many stops in those days out? It varies from anywhere between eight at the minimum to all the way to 13 at the max on a regular route. But sometimes, like if somebody calls out G719, if somebody calls out, then you'll get more you'll get more you'll get more routes. You'll get more routes. So like if somebody's on like
Oh, your
you'll
ride
have
gonna
more
be
stops.
heavier.
Right. You have more stops. Or like say, okay, say if I called out right, and so they'll come to you RC, they'll come to you RLC and say, hey, and tell you to like, hey, we need you to cover this store. They'll split a route in half. Like we couldn't get nobody to come in. Everybody said no. When we tried to get them to cover the route, so what they'll do is the drivers that's already working, they'll take that and split the route in half. Like so, this like instead of you having 12 stops, you might end up with 15 or six. 16. But that's like not no. That's not the average though. You probably between 8 and 12 or 8 and 13, and that's it. Yeah, how many stops? So yeah, even on the 2 day routes, you have like uh you have like eight to 8 to 13, and like it depends. Unless you go in like in the majority of them, like I see too, is a lot of it's just like Starbucks. Like how the Starbucks aren't too far from each other, or do they do that down where you at RLOC?
Do what?
Have all the Starbucks like right next to each other, on top of each other, or
They're not that far from each other. To be honest with you.
right,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
that's how a lot of the Domino's are too. So like at least in my area, they're not that spread out. Like they're not that So you might have like 12 stops, but they're not
They're not that bad.
right. Yeah, exactly, because they're kind of right on top of each other, or it might be the same franchise owner that owns. You know what I mean? He owns all those stores in this particular. So yeah, I've seen that, or a corporation. I've seen that a lot, where either a corporation or the same franchise owner owns all these stores in this one county or the neighboring county. So
Yeah.
so that happens a lot too. Yeah, but you don't have many stops. We don't have. It's not like other stores where you get 18 or 20 stops. No, that's you never. You're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Your refurber stopped working on you.
Not yet, thank God. Not the lift gate, but not the reefer. Not
What's
not.
what's, what's a
Yeah.
protocol at the reefer stop? Where y'all dumping all that?
We got to call in Ryder and get them to
Try to fix it quick as
come in.
possible.
Yeah, quick as possible. Because if not, that's a lot of money you getting wasted. Because they're not gonna deliver it. They're not gonna deliver it anyways. Once the reefer stop, they don't want to take a chance of a foodborne pathogen or foodborne illness. So yeah, that's big trouble. Or you definitely don't want to forget to cut the reefer back on. Because like I said, some neighborhoods you can't cut the reefer off. So you definitely don't want to forget to. I mean, you can't leave it running. So you definitely don't want to forget to cut it back on. Hang in there, Justin. It's gonna get easier for you. Yeah, you gonna feel it. It's gonna be like that for the first month. It's gonna be like that, but hang in there. Uh, yeah, that's all
Yeah,
I can.
yeah, I
Hang
know,
in
I
there.
know, I know. It hurts when you just start, man.
Right, right.
It
And it,
going,
and
you
that,
go
that's
home, you
similar to
don't want
going
to
to the
do
gym.
nothing.
That's similar to going to the gym. Like when you first start, you may not you probably ain't coming in there bench pressing 500, 400 pounds or doing the max that you can bench press. But as you go, gradually, you keep doing it, and you get consistent with it. You getting to the point to where you maxing out more. And so it's the same concept with that. It's the same concept with that. Like the more you go, the easier it's gonna get. So the more you keep lifting those cases, and the more you keep your you'll definitely be able to fly through it and get a breeze. The roughest is in the beginning.
Yeah.
The roughest is in the beginning. Yeah. But you
What time
stay
y'all roll out? What time y'all roll out tomorrow?
8:30. Yeah, 830. Because I think the miles is like 307, 300 something. And then like the guy that I'm working with tomorrow likes to leave early. So like as soon as they get the trucks loaded, we want to be in there and we gone. So 830, we'll be pulling out at 830, and then we got about I think we only got like 8 stops on the route tomorrow. Yeah, we only got 8 stops on that route, but it's pretty far away from us. It's Sacramento. We doing Sacramento, and that's kind of like that's probably like from Miami to Orlando or something, or so we got to drive up. Yeah, so we got to drive. The miles is what's it's like the 300 some miles, 300 and some round trip on the miles. So the miles we gonna make pretty good money on that. Yeah, and then the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, we got who else we got up in here? I'm about to move to North Carolina, see if they hiring. My job's a
They were
gym.
they were hiring Garner. I think they got the center in Garner. I'm not sure where Garner is. Where
It's
Garner is, but
650K per
uh,
lot, bro. That ain't a lot at all.
you
Not
probably
but
have
for
to right. You probably have to. At Domino's, you gonna do more than that a night. Like you gonna do more than that a night though. Like we do. The cases being a
at
thousand,
Domino's,
but that's
y'all don't really look at it, case. Y'all don't really count
yeah,
cases.
exactly, exactly. That's why. So
It's just more of a let's get this stop done type of thing, right?
exactly. That's the thing. Like we don't even look at the cases in the room. So, but yeah, right. You're right. So that's yeah. Since it's right, it's different. You're exactly right. You nailed the. It's more so by stops, and we go how much each stop weigh. Like okay, we get to this store and they may weigh like they might have like a 36,000 pound or 12,000 pounds. Then you know that's gonna be a longer store as opposed to you pull up to this store and all they got
So you,
they
so
they
you,
loaded 16. Huh?
so you pull up to a store, right, and you grab
Uh
your
huh.
invoice, and you'll look at it and be like, okay, they need such and such amount of dough. They need such and
Right.
such amount of pizza boxes. Is that how that works?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it works. What I do is usually I look at the weight and then I look at
How do you memorize what they need? Do you like always look at the
no,
invoice?
because
What if
you get an invoice. Well, you get an invoice for them, but you get a sheet. You get a sheet too for your personal, and then because as you're loading, because you need to pull the stuff off the reefer, so you get a sheet too. That's your copy. Or if you have another, if you're working the team, you know the guy that's working the trailer is gonna have him a sheet, and then you know you'll have a sheet too, because you can verify, double check, and make sure everything is there too. So you could
yeah?
like as the second guy, since you're not the guy that's bringing it in the store, so you could do that too, and so you'll know what's coming off the truck, and you know you
So
look at your sheet too.
if you have you ever made a mistake? You give a store too much, and you get to your last stop, you don't have enough to give to them. How did
Uh,
Domino's penalize y'all for that?
you write a credit. You just write a credit. You just write a credit to that store. I think if you repeatedly keep doing that, then it like that'll be an issue. But for the most part, like I don't think you'll get written up or nothing if you did it. Now, if you're constantly doing it, that like I said, if you're doing it every day, that's gonna be an issue. I don't know what's going on. But yeah,
Oh, did you know anything about that yearly safety bonus?
yeah, yeah, that comes about the same. I think it comes about like in February or something. As long as you don't,
Oh,
between October or around October, but like as long as you don't have no accidents, you good.
it was
And
like
that's like
$500.
2,000. No, it's like 2,000 or something where we at. A little bit over
What?
2,000. Yeah,
Dang.
it's like 2,000. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it comes once a year. I heard some guys get them quarterly. Some stores get them quarterly, but we get it once a year, like every February. Like when they get ready to buy back. If you have any vacation that you want to sell or unused vacation or something like that. Yeah, and they good with you know at Christmas they give you a box like from what wine like and that we had a lot of that stuff in there too.
Okay, so you gotta explain to people
Oh
how
yeah,
hard
and
it is.
that's it's gonna take I don't know whether you're a coffee or Red Bull type guy or because if you the thing is if you like he got a point there like it's difficult it's difficult it's difficult doing that because you may not be accustomed to staying up that long too. Like a lot of times we're up 18 hours, sometimes 24 hours. Well, no, like 18, but like sometimes 24 hours if you're really what you call it, like if you're really slow or if you're new. Most of the new guys.
You two are just gonna stay.
Yeah,
Stay.
come in here, Louis. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. So
So let's
like,
just say you're driving back and you feel like stopping and resting.
No,
They're not
no.
gonna get on. They're not gonna get on y'all for that, right?
nah. We have driver cameras and all that, but they leave us alone.
No, I'm
They
saying,
leave
say
us
you
alone
wanna,
for the most
say
part.
you wanna get some sleep. You just say to yourself, I'm
Nah,
just
they
gonna
encourage you
reset
to
for
do
10
that.
hours.
They
Okay,
encourage you to do that. Nah, you just pull over and to nobody you like it say in the rule, but like if you getting tired, you pull over and get you some
and
sleep.
reset.
Now you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't try to fight it. You know,
So
most guys do because they want to get home. Like man, forget this. I want to get home. But
so it sounds like this job is kind of relaxed, man. Like you do your
yeah, it
job and
is. It is like it is. It's not like because you just get the job done. But obviously you want to get the job done so you can get back home faster. But like if it's taking you longer than what it normally does, then it's not it's no big deal either. Yeah, it's no
yeah,
big deal either. So it's like you're working at your own pace. I mean, you don't want to because after 2 days it's late. So if we went out on Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday they expect you to have the whole route done. Other than that, you know what I mean. It's pretty cool. They're not sweating you or calling you like, "Hey, hurry up," or unless you delivering to the wrong. You know what I mean. You're doing stuff like delivering store A to store C, and
yeah,
store B to store D. Then that's you probably gonna get a phone call in because they getting charged already. They already charged. They're
yeah.
already charged. So yeah, they already charged and they pay for that. So when you give our so it's like you know what I mean. If I'm giving you store A product that's meant for if I'm giving store C product that's meant for store A, then yeah, that gets difficult. Louis, get in here. Get in here. Leave him alone, please. Yeah, so that's going to become an issue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to become an issue. But other than that, it's like you don't have nobody. We do have the cameras, the front facing and the rear, but and then they don't want you. That's like most places. You could talk on the phone. Just know you can't have it in your hand. But that's a California law.
So it sounds like you still get to spend a lot of time with the kids.
Oh yeah, ton of time, too much time sometimes, man. Yeah, no, never too much, not enough time. But nah,
Yeah,
you definitely get enough time to spend with your family. You definitely get enough time to spend with your family or whoever you deem important. Yeah,
yeah,
and like I said, you usually gonna have the weekend up. So either you're gonna have Friday, Saturday, like you know what I mean. You come even if if you're working 3 days, what they'll do is when you get off Friday evening, you'll be off all day Saturday for sure. So that's most of us. And then Sunday, so you won't come back in to Sunday night.
Hey Brian, you run with Domino's? Brian James, you running with Domino's?
Um, yeah, you do. You probably the reason why you get more rest with solo probably is well, not some of the solo guys are just as quick as a team. It just depends on like how fast you are, like how fast you can, how efficient you are, how fast you can stack the trays, and how fast. But that comes with experience, though. So like if you're new, don't get discouraged.
Yeah,
Because your speed to pick up as long as you remain consistent. As long as you remain consistent, you figure out what works for you. Like you get to a routine and you stick to that. Like okay, well this works for me. This room, I notice I speed up when I because you want to be fast, but at the same time, I think even more important than fast, you want to be accurate than you are fast. You know what I mean? Because there's no use of being fast if you're delivering the wrong stuff to the stores, or you know what I mean, or because that's what'll get you in trouble. Like more than anything, is like, oh, you constantly delivering the wrong, and you're delivering the wrong product to, like I said, if you're delivering store A to store C, or and
yeah,
if you get if it's one or two things, it's not a big issue. You could just write them a credit, but it's been time where guys delivered the whole load or the whole truck. So then you got to go back and get that and reload it and then unload. And then hopefully you catching the time enough. So like when you're doing store C, you realize that you know what I mean. That or you didn't skip around the route because like some of these stores like they'll be on the same street, but the address will be different. You know what I mean? So you got in your mind like 1300 flooring as opposed to 1500. You moving fast. It's easy to get that mixed up if you're not double checking or if when you knew. I guess when you knew, but when you experience, you can pull up and you know by the location. You know what I mean? Like this is this store. This is. But when you know you're trying to move fast and all that, it's best to slow down, double check, and because I think that's the worst is when you deliver to the wrong store and you got it unloaded. You get to the other store and then you got to drive back and load all that stuff back on the truck, and
Yeah,
then
stuff like that will get you fired. That's one thing I
right,
tell
yeah,
people.
yeah, right. That's the
Yeah,
quickest way to get rolled up and get fired, and that's when
yeah,
they gonna start to tripping.
yeah. I be
Yeah,
telling people when I train them, don't be giving away products, man.
right, right. That's what it get.
Mhm.
That's what it get. What you call it, right? And then I'm like for the most part they're honest, but if you delivered that and then you go back to get it and they say, well, it wasn't here, you didn't deliver it here. It's like your word against. You know what I mean? It's like your word against theirs. It's like so.
And just imagine doing that to a box of snow crab legs, and you go
Right,
back trying to get it. Man, I ain't seen no damn snow crab.
right. Yeah, exactly. They just magically, they'll be. I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, they mysteriously disappear. You know what I mean? They gone, and you got to write that. Yeah, that can lead to some trouble. That'll be real problematic. Falling. What loads we had a we do if the loads fall over, that's on you because you didn't put the load bar up properly or you didn't secure the load properly. But I mean, you won't get in trouble unless it's something that's like the mushrooms or something that like some stuff is don't have a top on the box like the mushrooms or mostly everything's in bags or can or something like that or in boxes that's sealed. So if it do tip over, it'd make for a long night because you have to dig. But I think other than the mushrooms, like you'll be fine. You won't get in trouble, and that just make your job more difficult. As long as unless you drop like all the mushrooms or something, that'll probably be a problem. And like I said, like all the stuff is stacked in one by low bar, behind one low bar. So like all the mushrooms would be pretty much. So you make that tip over, or most of the green onions or the onions or something like that. But for the most part, it'll just make it more difficult for you because you have to dig through it. But it's not like it. So the thing with Domino's is though, like the green onions are the green onions. So it's not like this store get a special kind of green onion or this store get a special kind of onion. They get the same ingredients. It's just what varies is how much of it they get. So it wouldn't be too bad, I would imagine. But like it's probably, but I mean, unless like you forgot to put up your low bar, or unless the dough spilled out, that probably be problematic. Like if you didn't secure your dough and that tipped over. But even then you have to restack it. But a lot of the times the dough is it sticks to the so that's like your saving grace. It sticks to the trays. So even if you do happen to drop it or happen to tip up, it's not gonna fall out. So a lot of the time, so it ain't been proof yet. So it's fresh off the fact where where they Domino's make it at. So that's a good thing. It's still sticky and so it wouldn't necessarily fall. Like it can fall out if it hit far hard enough or whatever. I've dropped some before and it fell out like one or two individual dough pieces of dough fell out. But for the most part, even if you did knock over the dough, it's still gonna stay in the tray and you just have to restack it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you got some good questions, Truck Money. Appreciate. Yeah. But the most important thing is like getting used to that schedule. Is probably working at nights and then getting used to that schedule because it's not nothing to work 18 hours. It's not nothing to work like 18 hours consecutively. So or it's not nothing to work 18 hours or it's not nothing to work 18. Sometimes 24 hours if you have been you're trying to get it done. Yeah. Oh, well, not 20. Like, yeah. Well, some of the farther routes I've heard some of the guys, but I worked like 20. I worked 21 hours before or something like that, and That's because I wanted to hurry up and get back. Or you can stay you can stay 10 hours, do your layover or whatever, rest, and then get back on the road. So you don't have to work the 18 hours straight or the 21 hours. Or the 21 hours, you don't necessarily have to do that. So it's just really up to how fast you want to get it done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the guys that's doing the 18 hours, for the guys that's doing the 18 hours, for the guys that's doing the 18 hours, it's that's because you want to get it done. You want to get it fast.
Yeah.
You want to get it done fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what were you saying? I couldn't
We
see those last questions.
we kind of run similar over here at McLean Grocery. Y'all don't split pay either, right? Team loads
No.
get 100%. What
Right.
the
Now you
load
get
pays.
100% of the yeah, you get 100% of whatever the low pay. So if it's paying, let's say if you get 400 if that load is paying 800, then it's gonna pay both you guys 800. Yeah, it's no splitting loads on nuh-uh. Yeah, you don't, you get paid equal or whatever that route pays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good thing with Domino's too. That's a good thing is that you're getting paid whatever the route pays. Both of you guys get that. So McLean is similar. What they do that too.
Yeah, Truck Money Out kept telling me that they were similar over there.
Right, or if you know it's downtime, because I think I was watching one of his videos. I seen where they had to wait for the Walgreens to open up. So you get, you're getting that downtime. So y'all both of y'all getting downtime if it's down or yeah. So yeah, that happens too. That happens too. So yeah, nah, for the most part, yeah, you're getting the whatchamacallit though, bro. You're getting just paid whatever individually, like individually, but team. It's still team, but you're getting paid like whatever it pays. It pays. Both you guys reap those benefits. Yeah, I like your videos too, Truck Money. I follow you too. Yeah, I follow you too. So yeah, keep them up, man. Yeah, keep them up. Yeah.
Yeah, McLean, they be doing their thing too.
Oh yeah, no, they do. They pay out here where we at. Yeah, that's one of the. We be seeing a lot of McCain drivers at nighttime, and they get their money. They over 100 out here where we at too, and they work 4 days. I'm not sure how they do it where you at, Truck Money, but they work 4 days out here in Northern California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, That's what when they recruiting and when they recruiting or when they doing the well, they always hiring out here, but they say they put that. That's like one of the main things they point out. Like, oh, we work 4 days and make 110. So I'm like, oh yeah. Something just like I got friends that work in the one that is Stockton. I don't know if you've ever been to that one, Truck, the one in Stockton, and they do all right. They like it. They be over 110 or I'm not sure what because we see McLean at they do a lot of the out here. They do it seem like they do the convenience stores too, like or something like that. I'm not sure how that goes. Yeah, I've seen them like when I'm delivering at Domino's, they'll be in the same plaza but at a different store. Like you know what I mean, like delivering to a convenience store or like a gas station or something like that. Or
They be
yeah.
McLean Grocery.
Oh, okay, is that what that is? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we see them a lot. Yeah, yeah, we see them a lot at nighttime. Almost every time I'm out on the route, that's what I see. Yeah, McLean Grocery.
yeah, they be out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for coming through, man. Again,
Man, as
man.
always, thank you for having me, man. My pleasure. Man, thank you for having me. I'm like you, man. Anywhere I can help my fellow driver, especially in food and beverage, man, I'm willing to do it. I'm always willing to do it, man. So yeah, I appreciate you having me again, bro.
All right, man. Enjoy the
Anytime.
rest of your time off with the kids.
Oh yeah, you know it. Yeah, and anytime you need me on, just let me know, bro. I'm always willing to hop on. Yeah, I'm always willing
All
to
right,
hop
man.
on.
Be easy.
Likewise, y'all stay safe out there.
All right.
All the fellow drivers. I appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, bro. Peace.
Yeah. Y'all go. Domino's interview. What's wrong? Yeah, I go with Domino's interview part 2. Hope that answers some of the remaining questions that you guys had. And we're gonna check in from time to time with Domino's driver. You know what I mean? Hope that answers every single questions that y'all got. I mean, I like the way that 401k sounds. I like the safety bonus. I like the days off. And I like the fact that you can hustle and get your ride done a day early. Sound good to me, y'all. But appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We here. Work tomorrow. I ain't got nothing on my truck. I only got about 600 cases. It is what it is. I just do whatever is on my truck. I mean, y'all be easy out there. Have a good one.